Welcome back. This is the master diagram which shows a dominant follicle or a matured follicle or a Graafian follicle which is ready to undergo the ovulatory signals and ultimately the process of ovulation. Let's draw it one by one in different panes so that you people can understand what's going on. So in the center, I'm starting from inside. This is the secondary oocyte with a meiotic arrest. So this one is the secondary oocyte. Okay, I will label it later on because I need some space here. So this is the secondary oocyte which is surrounded by the Zona Pellucida. So this is the Zona Pellucida. So this green pane is over. Now coming to this black one, these are very important cells. You are seeing surrounding cells in this black color pane. These are showing junctional complexes. And these junctional complexes are the regulators of meiosis arrest. And we'll see what are those junctional complexes and how they are important in my coming lecture. So here you are seeing 1 to 2 layers of compact cells which are loosely connected with each other. They are present surrounding the secondary oocyte. You can see this black color cells, distinguished nucleus, and they are distinctively present. And what are they known as? They are known as very important for us, that is cumulus oophorus or the cumulus cells complex, that is CCC here, the cumulus cell complex. After that, now you see in the red color, there are multiple layer of cells are there. Multiple layer of cells. They are present surrounding the secondary oocyte along with the cumulus cells. They are present surrounding. They also show junctional complexes. And as it is a matured follicle, it is somewhat said to be the loosely bound cells supported by a distinctive basement membrane. So you can see the cells here, you can see some of the cells here also. They are forming a hillock-like structure, maybe sometimes known as germillock. You can see another 2-3 layers I am drawing. This is time taking, but yes, this is important for you people to gain insight into a definitive follicle, and this is always a very important question for most of the examinations. So what you are seeing here, a cavity-like structure, and this cavity is known as the antrum. This is known as antrum or the follicular cavity. So what you are seeing a fluid-filled cavity that is known as antrum, or this is also known as the follicular cavity, and this is containing the fluid. This is the follicular fluid, and this is the marker of difference between the cumulus cells and the granulosa cells. So what you are seeing now, see a layer of cell which is in blue color. Just have a look, blue color. The red color is over. Now you are seeing a blue color layer, and that's very important. This blue color is very important. They are also loosely attached. They are hardly 1 to 2 layers. Why they are important I will tell you, but just see these blue color cells which are present along with this red color cells. They are the same cells The name is different, function is different, structure is almost same, but the machineries are different. What is this? Now you are seeing, suppose this this red color cells. These red color cells are commonly known as the granulosa cells. The granulosa cells, but the blue color cells are known as the mural granulosa cells. These are steroidogenic. They are the master cells of the granulosa population. And why they are important? Now see this black pane. They are being surrounded, or they are lying very compactly arranged along with a very important basement membrane. So this is the basement membrane on which these cells are being present. So this is the basement membrane, and this basement membrane supports these cells which are known as mural granulosa cells. So here in this diagram, this is the master basement membrane. Why I am saying master? Because it is porous. This is porous, and the pore size is around 100 kilodalton. You remember these granulosa cells, this mural and normal granulosa cells, these are avascular, means they do not have the blood supply. And this what Antrum or the follicular cavity is seeing, you are seeing here the regulatory fluid, that's known as the follicular fluid. We will detail in our coming lectures all this. Above this black, now see the blue one, you are seeing some of the little bit larger cells. These are almost similar to that of the mural granulosa cells, which are steroidogenic in nature. These are steroidogenic in nature. They can synthesize the steroids under the influence of the LH, and they are LH sensitive cells. So these cells are nucleated, all are nucleated. I am not drawing the nucleus, but yeah, these are all nucleated. They are staying close to that of the basement membrane. These are all nucleated, and these cells are known as the Theca cells, and in specific the Theca Interna, and these are steroid synthesizing cells. So they are steroidogenic cells. And above this you are seeing, just see this black one, you are seeing another layer of cell just present surrounding this, and these are having fibroblast cells, smooth muscle cells. The blood capillaries are also distributed, and some flat cells are there. These are fibroblast like cells and smooth muscle cells. These are present surrounding these follicles which are making the size. So here you are seeing various categories of cells. So this is known as the Theca Externa cells. These are non-steroidogenic. These are mostly supportive in function, and these cells are supported by the fibroblast cells, the smooth muscle cells. They are present surrounding them, smooth muscle cells, and distinctive nerve fibers, and also the capillaries. They are also present. I can draw here with the red pen what you are seeing in the cross section. These are the red pen structure are showing the blood capillaries. So these are the blood capillaries which will carry the important messages to the inside. I told the granulosa cell is avascular, the cumulus cell is avascular, the oocyte is avascular, the mural cells is slightly vascular, slightly, because they get the permeation from here through the basement membrane. The hormones also get access through the basement membrane. The nutrients also get access through this basement membrane, means the Theca is said to be vascular. So what red color structure you are seeing? These are the blood capillary. So this is the diagram of a dominant follicle which has undergone complete development, around 16 mm in diameter on an average, ready to undergo expansion, contraction and rupture. This will come outside the secondary oocyte along with the cumulus, along with the surrounding glycomatrix. That I will see in the mechanism. But we have to understand that when we are saying that this is the matured follicle and these are the mural granulosa cells which secrete the estrogen on FSH, showing the FSH sensitivity, and here it is in the Theca cells LH sensitivity, that this estrogen will come and will go to the brain to induce the LH surge. So that's why this is important diagram, and this shows a great organization of a follicle. And when we will see the ovulation, here there will be formation of a stigmata or a bod-like structure at the weakest point of the follicle, where the secondary oocyte will come and along with the cumulus cells, and that's known as ovulation. So stay tuned for my next lecture, where we are going to see how this follicle is developed under the influence of the hormones, how this follicle is regulated by FSH and LH, and we will try to understand two-cell, two-gonadotropin hypothesis. Also, we will try to understand how this biodynamic, the physiological mechanisms occur, which ultimately lead to the rupture of the follicle and the secondary oocyte is released. That's my master lecture. So stay tuned for this. And do not forget to like the channel, subscribe the channel, share the channel with others, and stay tuned for my active content. Thank you so much.